What is up, homies? Welcome back to another trailer reaction from Heroes Reforged. We're reacting to the second official trailer for Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. In case you didn't know, fun little tidbit, we worked on Mad Max Fury Road when it came out almost 10 years ago now.
Wait, Hector didn't. Hector was already gone at that point.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You did not.
You two guys did.
Hector did not. Adam and I did.
You guys have talked about that on the podcast we do. In case people haven't checked it out yet, it's on its own channel. It's called the Chexicans podcast. We also do it live every week on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. And you guys have shared stories about that and what it was like working on that in post-production. I don't want to give anything away, so if people haven't heard that, they should go back. They should look for that. They should try to find it. Somebody below can link the episode where you guys talk about it.
I'm hoping that we get a chance to rewatch Mad Max Fury Road in anticipation for this movie. In 3D, I think that'll be really fun. But if you want to check out the uncut reactions for all the other stuff that we're watching, including X-Men 97, we were just talking about doing the Acolyte in June. There's so much stuff on Patreon. Check it out. Link down below. Like Hector was saying, check out the Chexicans channel as well. And I loved that first trailer that we watched a couple months ago. Maybe it's been a month now. I loved it so much. So I'm kind of hoping it's just more of that flavor, because that was a 10. That was like a level 10 for me.
After we saw that trailer, I went back and watched Mad Max over again, because the trailer, I don't know if I was misremembering the movie, but the trailer aesthetics didn't really look how I remembered them. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back and watch this before I make my decision. And it actually looks really good and really faithful to the vibe and the look of Fury Road. And so I was like, okay, cool. I feel better now. I feel better. I was excited, but I was like, I don't remember this being this way. And it's just, I think in my head, I build it up because I love Fury Road. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's in my head, it's always like at 1,000% whenever I think of it, because that's the emotions it gives me. I'm like, everything's always super heightened, but then rewatching it and actually like paying attention to it, I'm like, okay, cool. This looks great. This looks on point. And they definitely did their homework before they started this movie.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, show.
These movies are like fever dreams. So it does not surprise me that you're like, is the movie really how I'm thinking? I'm remembering it. Is it not how I'm remembering this memory of this film? And then you watch it and you're like, dude, this. They're just insane. They're insane.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, the movies are insane.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Furiosa! We've come too far.
Furiosa.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh, the greenery.
Furiosa! They took Furiosa!
Oh my God, this music.
Yup.
Great. Day for night stuff.
As a child,
Love it.
my world was forever changed. My mother was magnificent.
Oh man, I bet.
Nice.
This movie's gonna be so sad though.
All from me.
It's gonna be so sad.
It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad.
Who do we have here?
Yes. More Chris, please.
She's from a place of abundance. This is our destiny.
My childhood. My mother. I want them back. I want them back.
Yes.
Wow. Oh,
Those giant
that gave me the
Anya
tingles,
Taylor-Joy eyes.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wow.
Where are you going? So full of hope. There is no hope.
Yes.
Oh my God. This is gonna be Immortan Joe. There you go.
Immortan Joe.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh.
Yeah.
There you
There
go.
will always be war, but to get home, Furiosa fought the world.
Okay.
Nice.
Remember me.
Yes, dude. Oh shit.
IMAX, baby. God damn, that is going to be so
Gotta love those
good.
Oh my God.
I want to get
Dude,
that.
that was so good. What do you want to get, Hector?
with what Hemsworth said, get that on a t-shirt. There is no hope. It's just the most Australian ass voice I've ever heard. I love it.
I love that he's so unhinged. It seems like he's just going full for it in this crazy Mad Maxy world, which I think is really cool. I think I think what draws me a lot to this franchise is the super off the wall characters that have these really like kind of oddball and quirky personality traits that I would have never have thought of, because there's things that happen in the movies. There's phrases that happen in Fury Road that I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like all of this is like, I feel like it has so much more deep meaning and they never explain it. And I kind of love that. Like, I don't really know the lore or the history.
I'm also hoping that this movie doesn't look like it's going to, other than like specific things with Furiosa, which is like, here's how she loses her arm. Here's how she cuts her hair.
Right.
Like things that, you know, here's her mother telling her, protect the green place, come back to the green place. All the stuff you know is going to play out how it plays out in Fury Road. But I am happy that this doesn't look like it's going to, like this movie's not going to be like, and here's the origin of the War Boys. And here's the origin of like just every single thing from Fury Road. Like that doesn't matter. I trust George Miller as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, that like he's going to know what to focus on. The focus is on this character Furiosa.
Right.
What is she going to go through to kind of make her who she is? The sad thing is, I mean, I'll call it right now. I think by the end of this movie, she's going to kill Hemsworth, but like she'll be resigned to stay in the place where she is, basically as a slave to this awful little mini society, and then stay there for years until she ages into the Charlize Theron and then makes her move in Fury Road, and then that's so it's going to have a bummer ending of like, I have to stay here, I have to you know, be this driver of the War Boys, and like, but dude, the Fury Road, the Mad Max world is not a happy one. It's it's insane. It's insane. And Hemsworth, he's such a good example of like a character actor, an insane comedic character actor in a leading man's body, trapped in a leading, so damn good looking that when he's hysterical in Ghostbusters, people are like, damn dude, Hemsworth's really funny. It's like, yes, that's why Ragnarok went the way that it did. That's why, you know, they're leaning more into how his Thor character can take advantage of what Chris Hemsworth, the actor, can do. And this performance of this character looks insane. So handsome, they're like, we got to put an ugly prosthetic nose on you, dude. Nobody would. You're too good looking for the Mad Max world, my dude. You're too good looking. Every character's got to be all messed up, and you know. But it looks awesome, dude. It looks so good.
Yeah, and I think that's the impressive thing with someone like Chris Hemsworth. He's come such a long way since he played Thor, and of course that was 13 years ago now. He's had such a huge transformation in the types of characters that he's played, and the types of, like you're saying, the genres that he's embraced, and the genres that he surprisingly like excels at is stuff that it has a little bit of a comedic flair to it. When he plays very serious Thor, it works to an extent, but when Thor has a little bit of that levity, like he does, like how he deals with his trauma in Avengers Endgame, it's a really well done performance, because you have to balance so many more emotions. So I would imagine that a character like this, he's got his quirkiness, which probably to the character himself isn't something that he clocks as being like part of his personality, but he is kind of probably unintentionally quirky, funny, but also incredibly diabolic and evil. It'll be fun to see him play with all shades of that type of a character. And then Anya Taylor-Joy is probably, I don't think I've ever seen anything that she's been in that I haven't enjoyed, whether it's Queen's Gambit or the movie she did with Edgar Wright. The name escapes me right now, but yeah, she's been great in everything. So I can't wait. I know the big controversy was from the last trailer, at least, was the look. People were talking about how it looks like it's all shot in the volume and all this sort of stuff. I don't get that vibe. I think there's some shots that George Miller, because of how camera technology has changed in the last 9 years, he's able to do more. He's able to push the image a lot more than he was able to back then. And the cameras are so much more sophisticated, and they have so much more dynamic range. So I think he's really able to, in post-production, go in and fine-tune like the smallest, tiniest little details. So I think sometimes that is what can make the image look quote unquote fake. But I also feel like this world is already so exaggerated and it's so kind of out there that he can be hyper stylized with the look of the movie, but it's not necessarily the thing. That's the thing that holds you in, but the thing that hooks you is the action, the stunts, the cars, the destruction, the mayhem, the chaos of the Mad Max world. So I don't know, to me, this looks exactly what I would expect it to look like if we're kind of following in the footsteps of not even just Fury Road, but the other Mad Max films. Those movies are also kind of really quirky and out there stylistically, but it's what works. It's what works for this universe.
Yeah, dude,
so I love it.
I'm remembering the beginning of Fury Road, because there's some stuff in Fury Road that also looks very digital. Some of like, especially if you isolate a shot by itself. But the thing about Fury Road, I remember the opening to that movie, the first few sequences, George Miller like gets you on a car and just starts driving and it's all desert, and we really sit with stuff like that, and it builds and builds and builds, and you start to feel like I'm in this environment, and then shit pops off. Do you know what I mean? And then there's like maybe effects, and so like I'm positive that he's going to do the same thing here. Each time we get to a sequence or an environment, he's going to build that out, and I think it's a little trickier to maybe we're being too easy on it because we like Mad Max Fury Road and we like George Miller, but I feel like that kind of stuff is. You don't notice it because when things are trailerized, it's just like quick cut, you know, as opposed to that feeling of like, no, dude, this sequence was awesome. And then this sequence, like it's just a different kind of a pace, I guess, than to typically trailerize, you know? So, but we'll see when the movie comes out.
I think the trailer version in Fury Road of the sandstorm doesn't know justice to how it really actually is in the movie.
Exactly.
And that's a full-blown CGI fest. That's all CGI. So like, I don't really, like you, Adam, I don't really understand where that criticism is coming from. Specifically, if you have a guy like this making a movie that's already kind of, the story is already so out there. Why is it that all of a sudden we need like the story or the visuals to be grounded to earth no matter what? Like there's no way in hell any of these guys or cars or any of this can survive in the desert for this long, right? And so there's a huge level of disbelief that we have to have to, you know, to be able to live and enjoy a story like this. And I personally really enjoy that, but I know a lot of people don't, unfortunately.
Gasoline in a car has a half-life of like 6 months or something. Wasn't that
6
the
months,
fact that a couple people or a couple years after some big like post-apocalyptic stories like the Walking Dead TV show, and you know, years later people are still driving cars, and it's like, nah, dude, if gasoline production stops, it's done in 6 months. Everybody's on horses. This world doesn't make sense.
We're done in a year.
Who cares?
Like a year tops, we're done because none of that gas is going to survive. None of the gasoline is going to survive. Right?
If you want realism in your post-apocalyptic stuff, go watch Waterworld, the most realistic post-apocalyptic movie ever. Drink your own piss through a filter.
Gasoline.
Go watch Waterworld.
They need gasoline for some of those boats, right? And that's not going to happen. Also, oil.
Fair point.
You're not going to have oil refineries making oil for all those engines that run on oil, otherwise they seize up. Like there's a certain level of disbelief that we all need to have, and I feel like I'm there. I just wish other people who for some reason can't accept change get all butthurt for stuff like this. So
whatever.
To me, I look at the Mad Max movies, especially the last two, and I'm like, these are like graphic novels come to life, and they're not.
Yes,
but they feel like a graphic novel that is so meticulously drawn and colored and inked come to life. And you know, so I'm all for it. I think if a director has a very specific vision and it is so stylized, but you can also execute the story really well, good for you, man. Like, kudos to you for being able to execute on all levels. I mean, that movie was an Academy Award winning film. It surprised everyone.
Who the fuck am I to tell George Miller how his movie's supposed to look?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, I'm not. He's not making the story for me. I enjoy it. But he's making the story because he's got this crazy idea that he wants to show us. And that's cool. I'm down with that. I'll take it. I'll take all the Mad Max he's got.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Of course, let us know what you thought of this brand new trailer for Furiosa and Mad Max Saga. What are your thoughts on Mad Max Fury Road? And should we rewatch it in anticipation of this movie? I have to go see this on an IMAX screen because it just looks like it's deserving of the biggest screen, best sound system you can find. So Dolby Cinema will probably also look really, really good too. But check out everything else that we're watching. Check out the podcast before Hector comes to your house, knocks on your door, and feeds it to you with a spoon.
Before he deletes all the videos from our channel.
Exactly.
That's right. So we don't hear anything but the podcast.
Exactly. Let us know. Check out everything else that we're watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.